In operation for just 3 years, the Elizabeth line is now not only London's, but the UK's busiest line, going under the capital and taking 250,000 passengers a year. The line opened by the late Queen in May 2022. It rushes Londoners from one side of London to the other with speed, out to places like Heathrow, Reading, Abbey Wood and Shenfield, all linked up and speeding through specially made tunnels with brand new infrastructure. The issue with the Elizabeth line was getting it built. The contract started in 2009 for a 2018 open. With the repeated delays, it was also over budget by £4 billion from the original estimated budget of £14.8 billion. So the question is the Elizabeth line, also formerly known as Crossrail, worth the money and the delays? Let's have a look. The delays in getting the Elizabeth line completed were due to the complex infrastructure being built under London. If you think about it, there were many different tube lines there already, plus the infrastructure for gas, water, electric, yes, the various utilities, and that all had to be built around that. Plus, not only that, they were going so deep in some places that they were digging up pieces of history which had also to be maintained for historical purposes. London's transport system has been creaking for quite some time, so having a new line to help people avoid the buses using the Central line, which pretty much mirrors in central London the Elizabeth line, and with increased speed to get from one side to the other with its own infrastructure and tunnels, was a great advantage. Plus, connecting Heathrow even more with central London was another great attraction for those flying in and flying out of the UK's busiest airport. Going back to the Central line, whilst it mirrors, it doesn't stop at every stop the Central line does. Plus, the Central line has reduced speed due to tight tunnels, especially around the Bank area, which quite often throws people around. With the Elizabeth line, with its brand new tunnels, it could go through at quite a speed, getting from one side of London to the other, and in fact, getting from Liverpool Street to Bond Street by Elizabeth line takes about 8 minutes, as opposed to the 15 minutes being thrown around on the Central line. There you go, an advantage already. Previously, passengers coming into London Heathrow Airport could get into Paddington by overground. Alternatively, they could take the Piccadilly line, which took quite some time to get them bang into central London. Once again, the Elizabeth line helps alleviate the problems of the long journey into central London and again being thrown around on a tube train on the Piccadilly line. All Elizabeth line stations are step-free from platform to street level, so for accessibility, it is definitely the line you need to take. Plus, it takes away a lot of the traffic from the centre of London and connects everything together, as you can see in this map. Whilst the Elizabeth line isn't part of the tube line, it is part of the TfL system, and it has large trains as you can see here. The trains are spacious and air-conditioned and more reliable as new rolling stock has been put on, and of course it's operating on its own lines, therefore not waiting for other lines to have issues and then getting caught as a result. The trains are also built to be driverless for when the time comes to be able to switch that on. There is no doubt with the Elizabeth line, the speed, the passenger numbers, the travel from Heathrow into central London and all aspects of the travel from one side of London to another are an absolute advantage. Although the knowledge of the TfL fare zones and Network Rail, as the Oyster card is not accepted past West Drayton, can be a bit of a hindrance. Now, if you're after any more information on anything we've talked about or Elizabeth line related, if you go to tfl.gov.uk, you can get all of the information there. So looking at the Elizabeth line, disadvantages? Well, there's no doubt about it, it's been a success, so a lot more people are using it, but it's still got plenty of room with the large trains. Fare zones, you need to be aware of these. If you're travelling outside of central London, you need to be aware and not get caught out with the wrong ticket. Once again, the TfL website will help you with that. The advantages? There are just so many. You've got the speed, you've got the connections and ease to all different parts of London and through central London, including Heathrow Airport. The trains are larger than the tube and the air conditioning during the summer is an absolute must. So if you can use the Elizabeth line, I can't recommend it highly enough. Come and join the other 250,000 passengers using it every year. Have you been on the Elizabeth line? If you have, tell us what you think about the Elizabeth line in the comments down below. What do you think about its value? And can you suggest any other transport related videos that you might enjoy to help make your trip to London even more pleasurable? If you love London, we have a video on buying tickets with TfL to help you get around the capital. That includes not just the tubes, the Elizabeth line, but also the buses as well. And I've put a link to that up in the top right hand corner. So if you click on that, I'll see you in there.